everyone. Good morning. Happy Monday morning. This is Carol Williams with Williams Immigration, a boutique immigration firm headquartered here in sunny South Florida. And every morning I talk to you live in a little segment I like to call Beyond the Soundbite, where we talk about all things U.S. immigration. Usually we keep it within what's been going on in the past week, but sometimes there are some lingering issues like legislation that we talk about over the course of several weeks or the course of several months. So you all know I like to dive right in. So the first thing I want to talk about is the COVID-19 vaccination with respect to applying for certain visas. We already know that there's been an announcement that you will need to show that you are fully vaccinated against the COVID-19. If you're applying for a green card, that has now been extended to the K1 visa as well. There are instances where you can apply for and request a waiver. And those are if the applicants are too young to receive the vaccine, then you will have an exemption. Individuals who have medical reasons why they cannot receive the vaccine, those are called contraindications. So if you think you have a medical reason or your doctor thinks you have a medical reason why you can't have the vaccination, you should bring that up to the physician that will be doing your medical exam, as well as individuals that live in areas where the vaccine is not routinely available. So those folks are not going to be forced to travel to a completely different region, in some cases a different country or across country, in order to receive the vaccine. They will be exempt from that requirement. But again, we now have seen a slight expansion of the requirement for the COVID-19 vaccine. In addition to individuals that are applying for green cards, it is now required for individuals that are applying for the K1 fiancé visa. Second thing I want to talk to y'all about today is the diversity visa lottery. It is now open for the diversity visa fiscal year 2023. And so it began and it opened on October 6th, and it closes November 9 at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are interested in applying for the diversity visa lottery, make sure that you go online and get your entry in. It is very important that you only enter one time. If you try to enter more than once, they will get the duplicates and they will throw them all out. So then you will not be registered at all. So if you're interested in the diversity visa, that process is now open. And the diversity visa, for those of you who may not be aware, is the visa program that allows for individuals to essentially apply for a lottery system. And they are coming from countries that don't typically send a lot of individuals to the United States via employment or via family-based categories. So it really gives those people who are coming from countries that don't tend to send a lot of folks here to the US a chance to get a visa. And it's also great for those people that may not have family already here in the United States, or they may not qualify based on our current employment-based categories. So good luck to everyone that tries. And if you need help, feel free to give our office a call at 954-9031-337, and we can walk you through that process. So over a year now, we have seen heavy visa restrictions due to the COVID-19 virus and not wanting to spread the virus. And so if you needed to go into a consulate and get a visa, many times that process was not happening. One, because the consulates were just physically closed because of social distancing, and countries and cities and towns were shut down. But now that the world has started to open up again, some folks are still not able to get their visas unless they qualified for what was called a national interest exemption. Well, that of course went to litigation, and a district court judge essentially said that the Department of State acted improperly in suspending the visa issuance based on some of these regional bans. And so what we should see now is a slight opening up of consular appointments. Hopefully the Department of State will allow more visas to be issued that do not require a national interest exemption based on this particular court decision. I haven't seen an opening up with the consulates that I'm dealing with currently with my clients, but fingers crossed, we should see those start to open up very soon. So we'll kind of take a wait and see approach on that. But remember that each consulate needs to work in terms of physically opening up their offices and the amount of time that they are in their offices in conjunction with the Department of State and the country that they're currently sitting in, as well as the current city that they are sitting in, and take all of those COVID-19 precautions from those various jurisdictions into play. So if we can actually get into a consulate, which is easier in some places than others, then we have this next layer of, will they actually issue you an appointment for the specific visa that you are requesting? So it's sort of a never-ending battle, but we are dealing with it. We are rolling with the punches, as we have been doing for over the past year now. We had a major announcement come out about easing travel restrictions into the US for those individuals that are fully vaccinated. So beginning on November 8th, President Biden has said that individuals that are fully vaccinated can cross over into the US from through our land and air borders. The land borders is a really, really important distinction here, because since March 20, I believe, of last year in 2020, our land borders have been closed with Canada and Mexico to non-essential travel. Well, on November 8th, our land borders are opening with Canada and Mexico for those individuals that are fully vaccinated. So if you are trying to enter the US certainly before that, and you're entering for employment purposes, let's say you have an approved L1 from USCIS, you should be fine to have that approval notice with you and cross over one of the land borders. But if you have any questions on that, again, feel free to give my office a call or drop a message in the comments, and we can be reached at 954-903-1337. And probably the biggest news that we had on the employer front last week was the Department of Homeland Security has announced that they are going to shift their enforcement priorities when it comes to the use of mass and large-scale employment raids. And those raids are typically when ICE will go into a workforce, into a work site. Sometimes they are nationally coordinated. Well, they will hit several work sites of the same employer on the same day in different states. They will coordinate with local law enforcement. They will go in, they will look for individuals that they believe are in the United States and working without authorization. They will then arrest those individuals, and those individuals will then be placed into deportation proceedings. The employers are then generally go through an I-9 and or an EVerify audit at the same time. The Secretary Mayorkas of DHS has indicated that he's going to shift his priorities. The priority is now not conducting these large-scale mass worksite raids and arresting individuals that may be here undocumented and working without authorization. The shift is going to be to provide consequences to the employers who are mistreating these undocumented employees that they have on their payroll. So one of the things that they specifically set out in this memo was that they want to look at the current EVerify system and see if and how employers may be gaming that system so that it looks like they are following the rules, but in fact they are not. So that is one very specific thing that was mentioned in that memo. In addition to that, I personally predict that there will be more I-9 audits as a result of this of this very significant policy shift coming down from DHS and Secretary Mayorkas. The I-9 program as well as the EVerify program are both government immigration programs. They both look at the identity and the work authorization of an individual employee. So it would just make sense to me that if you're going to look at the EVerify program, that you would also look at look at the I-9s program, and that there would be an uptick, an increase in the I-9 audits that employers will see. So if you are not quite sure what's going on with your I-9s, maybe you've had some turnover in your HR department, or the person that is currently handling your I-9s doesn't really have training on I-9s. You're not quite sure what's been going on with this past year with all of the notices coming out about I-9 flexibility, or you didn't even know about the notices about I-9 flexibility. Feel free to give our office a call, and we're happy to work with you regarding your I-9 compliance. I-9 compliance, if you are out of compliance, can lead to some pretty hefty fines. So let's try to get everyone's I-9s up to speed. That is all I have for this lovely Monday morning. If y'all have any questions, feel free to drop a note in the comments. Or again, you can always reach out to my office, Williams Immigration, at 954-903-1337. And have a beautiful Monday and a great rest of your week. Bye all.